What's up, tribe? How y'all guys doing? We are here for Heart and Hustle Houston. Let's get into it. I know it goes without saying, I know I'm behind. I owe y'all a lot. I have not even looked at anything else. I haven't looked at Bill Collective. I haven't looked at Raising Canaan. Um, so y'all probably won't get those today. Y'all will probably get those tomorrow or Thursday. Or Tuesday, because I ain't even watched them yet. And when I get off of here, probably get ready for Real Housewives of Atlanta. And then after Atlanta, I may do something before I go to bed, but I promise you, I don't know. With that being said, let's get into it. Listen, I agree with you, Quake. I believe Atlanta just quit the show. I don't know if they're going to tell us or not tell us how they're going to let this thing play out, but I think that Atlanta is no longer here. Okay. You can skip Bell Collect. I can skip Bell Collector. I personally do not feel like I think she's gone. And I think that's why they brought Ashley on to kind of balance out the group. I don't know if we need Ashley, but we're gonna get into that. I know the BET Awards are tonight, so we're gonna talk about that. We'll probably get into that tomorrow, or I don't know, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch it. I think it's gonna be a good show. I think the BET Awards tonight is gonna be a good show. They have a lot of people coming. They're honoring a lot of people, which I believe is very intentional. Drewski, I know some people don't necessarily like. Everybody's not crazy about Drewski's comedy, but he definitely has a following. People like him, so I think it's gonna be a really, really, really good show. I have Candace. I got the tea while I was in church, honey. I got the tea while I was in church. And by the time I got out of church, everybody was talking about it. So we'll get there when we get there. So let's get into this week's episode of Heart and Hustle Houston. We start this episode off. We have Latoya and Chloe are going to do a podcast. They are going to talk about just life lessons, things they've been through. I'm going to be honest. Let's just go ahead and be honest. Everybody and their cousin got a podcast. I mean, let's just call a thing a thing. Everybody and their cousin got a podcast. I think that their podcast, the idea is that they would talk about like things they've been through and different, like, co-parenting and death and grief, like all the things they've been through, which is real. Like that's real stuff and that's legit stuff. But I'm gonna be honest and tell you, I personally think what the market is missing. I think the market is missing a podcast on what it is that they do. Why can't we have a podcast on Black entrepreneurs? How did you get here? What did you do? You know what I mean? I want to interview these women because part of the question, one of the questions that I want to ask them is, how did you get in this industry? Like Latoya, how did you get into PR? Who was your first client? What was your craziest client? Who will you never work with again? You don't have to say any names. But what is it that you do? What does that look like? How did you, as a Black woman, get into this field? Chloe, you do event planning. How did you get here? What was your first party? What made you know that this was your thing? And then you can bring on other women, Black, minority entrepreneurs that are in these different industries that maybe everybody doesn't know about. I would love for somebody to do even though I'm kind of mad at her right now because of the whole Target thing, but Jordyn Woods has been doing this for a long time with her purses and her accessories and stuff like that. But it's a hard market to break into unless you have a celebrity endorsement. Telfar got an endorsement from when Beyonce carried a Telfar bag, it skyrocketed them, right? Telfar it was already an established brand, but it wasn't a must-have who's who. And then Beyonce one day got photographed with a Telfar bag, and everybody was like, what's that? What's that bag? Who's that bag? What is that big T? And all of a sudden, boom, through the roof. And Jordyn Woods, you just got that break. You need it, right? Everybody's talking about the Jordyn Woods brand now. Everybody wants a Jordyn Woods bag, a purse. I would really love to see that. And is it going to get you the most views? Maybe not in the beginning, but they have good personalities. If they have good chemistry, people will listen, you know? But anyway, it doesn't matter because have y'all heard anything about this podcast? But moving right along. So, now while we're talking, Chloe tells Latoya a story about how Jordan has been staying at the house because they're really working on building their trust again. And he's been staying at the house more, and that's been helping them build their trust. And how Jordan was at the house when Nico came to the house, and how now I thought, okay, y'all help me out. In the previews for last week's episode, or maybe this was just going to happen later on, am I tripping, or did we not see in the preview that Chloe said that Nico tried to fight Jordan, or Jordan tried to fight Nico? Am I tripping, or did I not see that in the previews? Y'all put it in the chat, because I could have sworn that's what we saw in the previews. But maybe I'm tripping. But she said how, okay, CJ Hardy said, I saw that too. Okay, so I'm not tripping. Because I was like, what happened to they would get ready to fight? She said, oh, they spoke to each other and everything was cool. So editor, see, I'm really starting to have a problem with production on this show, with the editing and the production on this show, because y'all showed us one thing in the trailer, in the previews. And again, it was this scene. It was literally this scene. I'm not stupid. I'm not crazy. And then we saw something else. So unless Latoya and Chloe are having another conversation in a later episode where something totally opposite happened, I'm tripping right now. Okay, I'm not crazy. Cheryl, I know Cheryl would have been like, girl, you tripping. Cheryl gonna tell me. Cheryl said I'm not tripping. Okay. Because I can't be tripping because I'm not crazy. Okay. But neither here nor there. Something else I caught in this episode, in this scene. And again, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Last season, those of you who watched last season of the show, because I know some of y'all didn't watch last season. Those of you who watched last season of the show, please tell me that I'm not crazy. Didn't we have a whole thing about how Nico didn't like Jordan? Didn't we have a whole thing about how Nico didn't like Jordan? And Chloe, and it was like their relationship was like, they were arguing about it, and their relationship just wasn't in a good spot. So why did Chloe say that that's the first time that that Jordan and Nico met each other? Did y'all catch that? When she said that was the first time they met each other? Am I the only one that caught that too? Am I tripping? Y'all, please help me out. Y'all tell me if I'm tripping. I'm going to keep going, but y'all tell. Okay. Yes, that's why the daughter said that's awkward. Something changed. I'm not crazy. Like, I know y'all want us to be crazy. I know y'all want us to be, but I'm not crazy. Like, I know what I fucking heard. Okay. Y'all heard that too? Okay. So suffice to say, I'm confused by that whole conversation now. I don't know what the real conversation was. Did they almost fight? Did they not almost fight? And what do you mean that's the first time they met each other, when we had a whole storyline last season about how the two of them didn't like each other, and how you and your son, y'all got into an argument. And remember, the son left the house. He wasn't staying at the house and all that. Like, I'm not tripping. Okay. Moving right along. And if Jordan has been staying at the house, where the hell do Nico stay? Does Nico live there? Does he not live there anymore? How do they not run into each other? Anyway, it's weird. Okay, so I don't know what to do with that. We're just going to put that over there to the side, because I got a lot more to say about the Jordan, Chloe stuff when we get later on in this episode. But the other thing is that I was thinking, when Chloe was saying how her and Jordan, what's up, Powerful? Hey, boo. when her and Jordan were saying, when she was saying that Jordan is staying at her place and that's how they're building trust. To me, it's the opposite. Okay, Nico moved out. Okay, cool. Cheryl said they did not like each other and he did not like Nico living in her house. Right. Right. Okay. So again, I mean, I guess technically could it be a situation where they never met? I guess so, but that's just weird. But moving right along. So it's weird to me that you think that by Jordan staying at your house, that's helping y'all build trust. To me, it would be the opposite. No, bruh. Because our issue wasn't you staying at my house. The issue was another woman staying at his house. I was going to call that woman out her name. See, I don't even know that lady. I was not going to call that woman out her name. I don't know her. But that's the issue. The issue is what he doing when he not with you, not what he doing when he with you. That's not helping y'all build trust. Building trust is I can trust that you're going to stay at your house tonight and ain't nobody going to be there with you. Trust is I don't feel the urge to drive by and do a drive by, beep beep, and see if somebody else pulling up. Like the trust isn't going to be, if, at least for me, I can only speak for me. The trust doesn't get built for me. The trust doesn't get built because you in my face more. The trust gets built when you're not in my face and I no longer have the urge to check on you, check up on you and see what you're doing. That's where the trust comes for me. Now I can't speak to other people and what they've gone through. To be fair, I've never dealt with infidelity in my relationship that I knew about. So I don't know what it's like to try to rebuild after infidelity because I've never dealt with that. I mean, I have had people cheat on me. I'm not gonna lie, but I didn't find out about it till after they were done cheating, like after the relationship was over. Like for example, my ex boyfriend that I was in that I my ex boyfriend from high school. We were still dating when I first went to college. Me and him broke up on Valentine's Day of my freshman year. When I came home in May, he had a girl pregnant and she was 6 months pregnant. Well, clearly, I can do math. I can add and subtract very well. So clearly, she was pregnant before our relationship ended, but I didn't know about it until I came home in May. And at that point, we were done. Like I wasn't trying to get back with him. So I don't know what that looks like. I can only speak for myself though. I'm not going to feel better because you're in my face all the time. For me to build trust is I would have to trust you when you're not in my face. I would have to trust that you're not in somebody else's face. But I can only speak for myself. That's I can only speak for me. I can only speak for me. Cheryl said they also knew each other because I remember Nico saying they be around the same places. He didn't want folks clowning about it. Yeah, I ain't crazy. Thank you, Cheryl. I ain't crazy. And again, I said this last week with the whole Elena thing, and some of y'all like argue with me. Not argue. Argued isn't the word. Some of y'all had a different perspective of it. And what I was saying was that's on production. Production's jobs when they're doing these confessionals, their job is to make that shit make sense and to make sure that there's no contradictions unless they're pointing the contradiction out, unless they're saying, well, no, you told us before that dot dot dot, now you're telling us dot dot dot. Like if they're going to point out the contradiction, yes, but not to give us the contradiction and act like we ain't supposed to remember what was said last season. Thank you, New Jones. Thank you, boo. But that's just me. That's just me. But let's move on. So the other part, so then the next scene, we see Labrina is having a birthday party for her baby girl. It's everything pink. It was just a pink, it was just an explosion of pink. It's just like a whole Pepto-Bismol situation going on. And I think that, I mean, listen, she said her daughter's favorite color is pink. They were doing a pink party. I ain't mad about it. I'm all about letting kids be kids. If her favorite color is pink and you're going to do a pink theme party, you're going to tell everybody to wear pink. I love how the men wore pink. Like I loved it. I was here for it. I thought it was cute. Chloe seemed like her storyline is made up. Let me say this. I'm gonna say this about Chloe's storyline. Something in the milk ain't clean for me. That's all I'm gonna say about it. Something in the milk is not clean. We're gonna get to it though, but something in the milk ain't clean, in my opinion. So Ashley is at the party. Baby, okay. Why Mimi and her family show up like the Obamas? Why she had them matching pink coats on them girls and they look like Sasha and Malia coming out for the inauguration? They look cute. Mimi, I'm gonna say Mimi because y'all know I be fucking her name up. Mimi has a beautiful family. Like she really, really has a beautiful family. And they look real, real cute. Ashley showed up with her family. Let me say this. I don't know if this is coming from Ashley or if this is coming from production. Because I don't trust production, I don't know how much of this is Ashley and how much of this is production. But Ashley starts telling a story. Last season, we find out that Ashley owns a bar, Allure. And Ashley hosted the rap party for Heart and Hustle last season. Now, we're going to get back to, when we get to the pickleball situation, we're going to talk about this rap party and some things that I had an issue with. But let's just deal with this scene for a moment. And Ashley starts talking about how she found out. Now what the hell is on Chloe's head, child? I guess she was trying to give us some long hair for a couple of episodes, child. I don't know. Why Ashley start talking about that she found out that Latoya had an issue with the fact that she had to buy her own lemon drops. And she got a bill for $22. First of all, not roll call to the witness protection wig. You know what? I gotta go listen to Ro. Do I have a mod in here? I don't think I have a mod in here. I'm gonna have to drop Ro. Y'all know Ro has her own YouTube channel. I gotta drop Ro's channel on here. I gotta drop Ro's channel. I mean her YouTube channel here because she be talking. You know, she does lives and stuff on her channel too. But let me say this. I just think Chloe needs time to heal from the loss of her husband, the scene with her daughters, the 3-year age gap between her boyfriend and her son is crazy. I just think they are still hurt. We're gonna get to that, Miss Cat. Yep, I got a lot to say when we get to that scene. Here's my issue, and I'm gonna talk. Obviously, I'm gonna have to talk about it again at the pickleball situation. Y'all know how I feel about these shows when I feel like people are grasping. When new people come on the show and they're grasping at a storyline. This is the epitome of grasping at a storyline. If you had a rap party at your establishment, there is no place in this world where I think that the women, the stars of the show, should have to pay for anything. Full stop. Period. End of the conversation. I don't understand why this is a thing. It was $22 fucking dollars. I could see if Latoya ran up a tab, a $300-$400 tab. I really could see if she ran up a $300-$400 tab. It was $22. Y'all waste $22 worth of liquor every night at a bar. I done seen it. I cannot believe that you really showed up in your feelings about a $22 lemon drop. First of all, I hope that was 2 lemon drops, maybe even 3 for $22 fucking dollars. Number 2, why was it even a thing? And we're gonna get, but well, I'm gonna say this before I forget. And then later on at the pickleball situation, somebody tried to bring up how many people she brought with her. Maybe it was at this one too. They brought up how many people she brought with her. Well, it sounded like everybody paid their own bill. If she only owed $22, so does it even matter if she bought? I mean, it was a rap party. She wasn't supposed to bring no friends with her to celebrate the show and the show ending. Like she wasn't supposed to bring nobody with her. Who sponsored the party? Whose idea was it to say, hey, let's have a rap party for the end of the show, the end of the season? Explain that to me, because that's who should have been paying the bill. Whoever decided to have a party. And if all of the ladies that were a part of the show decided to have a party, then everything should have been split 5 ways. But there's no reason in the world why we're supposed to be sitting here a year later talking about no fucking $22 lemon drop. I'm sorry. And therefore, I don't care about none of this. I mean, I'm going to talk about it when we get to the pickleball situation because I got more to say as it relates to who was carrying a bone. We're going to get to that in a minute. But at the end of the day, we're going to get to that too, Chuck. I'm trying to keep it in order because I don't want to jump around. When we get to the pickleball, we're going to get to all of that, okay? But the minute I heard $22 lemon drop, I'll be honest with you, I was like, I'm not doing this. And here's what I promise y'all. Hey, production down to the Heart and Hustle Houston. I'm not getting ready to spend 3 episodes talking about no damn $22 lemon drop. I promise you I'm not doing that. That I'm not doing. Not. Now I got more to say when we get to the pickleball. LaToya and the process of selling her father's home. She's putting it on the market. Her godmother, good friend of her dad, is helping her put the house on the market. And she was explaining, we know that she actually found her dad at the house. She's in the process of cleaning the house out. She said that it's been hard financially on her as well as emotionally for her to maintain both homes, her house and her dad's home. She said she's had to dip into her savings. And even going through the process of, we talked about this before too, putting everything in her name and going through all of the things that you have to go through, especially her being an only child. It doesn't seem like she has a lot of people to kind of lean on outside of her friend group. I don't know. It was, again, these scenes are hard. I'm going to say this to LaToya. When you get past your grief, she may or may not see this. Sometimes she watches, sometimes she doesn't. When you get past your grief, and when I say past it, I don't mean over it because you lost a parent. You're never going to get over it like that. But when you can write about it, I think you should write a book, especially with you being in PR. I think you should write a quick pamphlet. I ain't talking about a novel. I think you should write a quick pamphlet to help people. Something like what I wish I had known, what I learned so you don't have to go through what I went through kind of story. Because it seems like it's just so much that I just don't know. She said that, it's hard because she know how hard her dad worked to be able to afford to buy a home. And so I'm sure there are a lot of emotions swirling about selling it, keeping it, the financial obligation, all of the things that she's had to deal with. And I just think there are a lot of lessons there that she can maybe help other people navigate through, especially with her being in PR. I just think there's some easy 1, 2, 3s in that. But and I know there are a lot of books about estate planning and all that kind of stuff, but I'm just saying I just think there's an avenue for it. And she could put it on her website. I mean, she could just put something like that, a real quick down and dirty. Hell, ChatGPT can help her write it and just put it on her website, But again, this was just a very emotional moment to just see her processing through this. I know she's doing a lot of this. A lot of these scenes are solo. I kind of wish that we saw the girls with her. Maybe Ro. I know she's real cool with Ro. Chloe, at this point, her and Chloe are still cool. I kind of wish maybe we saw some of the girls with her in some of these scenes that she's kind of working through. But this is real shit. This is real shit. So there's that. The next scene is Ro with her family. Listen, y'all know I love me some Ro. I do. I hated everything about this scene. I hated everything about this scene. I love that we got a chance to meet her stepdad. I love that we got a chance to meet her sister. Let me take back what I said. I did not hate everything about this scene. I love the fact that we got a chance to meet some of her family, right? I love the fact that we got a chance to get to know a little bit more about her family dynamic, how she didn't have a relationship with her dad, but the stepdad came in, he swooped in, he took care of her, never made her feel out like an outsider, never made her feel different. That part I do love, right? I absolutely hated the fact, y'all know I'm old school. I'm old school when it comes to certain things. I hated them having this grown ass conversation in front of that child. I hated it. I hated it. I do not like adults having adult conversations in front of kids. I'm sorry. At the end of the day, that is still her father. And good, bad, or indifferent, she has a relationship with her father. Now, he may not be the best dad. He may not know how to talk to her. They may not have the best, but it's clear that he has been around. I mean, you showed pictures of her when she was younger. I did not like. Now, this scene had just been the adults and the daughter wasn't there. I probably would have been like, cool. But I just didn't like the fact that the daughter had to sit there and listen to you have this conversation about her dad. I didn't like it. And you could tell by the look on her face, the little girl was rolling her eyes. And then she was like, can I go? Can I go? I didn't like it. Now, again, I'm going to take back what I said about me hating the whole scene, because I didn't hate the whole scene. I did like that. But that part I did not like. I really, really did not like that. My parents, they were real quick about this adult conversation by, like, when you saw adults in the room talking, like, you ain't even walk in that room without asking permission. Can I come in? Mommy, can I ask you a question? And then I better walk my ass right on back out. I don't care about her having on earphones. I hear what you're saying, but I don't care about her having on headphones. I don't think she should have been there, period. Now, that's me. I can't speak for other people. I'm talking about me. I don't think she should have been there. I appreciate her talking to her stepdad about what happened and how she felt and how she handled it. And I love that her stepdad told her, you need to basically, he told her, you need to put your big girl panties on and you need to call him and y'all need to talk. And no, I don't think that he should talk to his daughter crazy. Absolutely not. I don't think he should talk to his daughter crazy. No. And Rose should absolutely be protective of her child. That is her child. She's supposed to be protective of her child. But I also feel like the adults in the room need to be the adults in the room. Do you think Ro had control over that, or was it the people filming? I think Ro had control over her daughter being in that scene. And if production said, no, your daughter has to be there, then I feel like that's where you as a parent says, no, I'm not going to have this conversation in front of my child. But I don't think Ro has an issue with it because she had the conversation last week in front of her daughter. And I don't think she should have had that conversation in front of her daughter last week. That's just my opinion. And I like Ro. But I have a problem with adults having adult conversations in front of kids. I just don't like it. Talking in front of the child, I knew you were going to go there, and I agree. Right. I just didn't like that. I didn't like it. So again, I'll take back. It wasn't that I hated the whole scene, because I didn't. I just didn't like the fact that her daughter was there to hear it. Let me say that. Let me say that. Let me take that. Let me rephrase what I'm saying. I didn't like the fact that her daughter was there, but I did like the scene. I like that we met her sister. We got a chance to see her sister. I love the fact that we met her stepdad. I like the fact that we got to see that dynamic and that he was basically the father figure to her. Um and that her father wasn't around and that she has a different last name than the rest of her family. I'm sure that even though she sort of joked around it, I think that probably was a big thing for her growing up. Like, you're the only person in your house that doesn't share the same last name. I'm sure it was a thing for her. I'm sure it was an issue for her. Hell, in my house, I'm the only person in my house that has everybody in my house name starts with the M except for me. Growing up, my sister, my brother, my mom, and my dad, all of their names started with the letter M. My name starts with a C. And I remember thinking, what the fuck? Now, do I think that my parents intentionally did it? No. My brother's a junior. And my sister, I just think that was the name they liked. I don't think they thought about the fact that all of us, and my mom's name starts with, they all start with this. It wasn't intentional, I don't believe. But as a child, so I can only imagine if it were my last name, I'm the only one with a different last name. So I think I did appreciate that conversation. I did appreciate that conversation. And I like that her stepfather told her, look, you need to call him and y'all need to talk about this. And I appreciated that conversation. Hey, call me homie. It looks like in the previews for next week we're going to see the conversation. So maybe I have better insight once I see Ro actually interact with this guy. Maybe it'll give me a bigger, more of a point of view on some things. You know what I'm saying? All right. So the next scene, the ladies are playing pickleball. Now, here's my issue. I don't agree, but I understand everyone parents different and there's no book. Yeah, you're right. And I like that the stepdad told her not to lead with cussing. Right. You can tell he definitely knows his child. He definitely, she said, I might have to throw an MF in there somewhere. He definitely knows his child, right? Exactly. So the ladies are playing pickleball. Now, again, pet peeve, pet peeve, pet peeve. They said that the pickleball was Mimi's idea. Mimi invited all the ladies to come and play pickleball, yet she was the last person to show up. I had a problem with that. Y'all know how I feel about people being late and people being that late. Like, I have a problem. I have a problem with that. I don't understand how you were the last person to show up and it was you invited them and it was your idea. And you came in unapologetic. Like, you weren't like, oh my gosh, y'all, I'm so sorry. The kids, something happened. It's always something. I got 3 kids, child. I had to take care of blah, 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 blah. Like, you walked in there like you was on time. And I know that may not seem like a big deal, but it is. Like, all of these women are busy. Like, they waiting on you. Well, they didn't wait on you, but still, like, what the fuck? Anyway. So the ladies are coming together to play pickleball. Ro, girl, you was flashing us this whole scene. You was showing us your tatas this whole scene, girl. Now listen, the body is body, yaddy, yaddy, and okay? But why was you showing us all your business? Baby Ro was showing us all her business, honey. Them tatas was hanging out that shirt the whole episode, this whole scene. But it was cute. It was cute. It was cute. So the ladies, so it was Labrina, Ro, Ashley, and Latoya, baby, listen. Now, Labrina and Ro was actually dressed alike. They both had on lemon colored little tennis outfits. They looked real cute. But here's what I want to know. Why y'all ain't get them people to show y'all how to play pickleball? They just gave them people the not the racket, but the little pickleball pads, the paddles. They just gave y'all a paddle and a ball and let y'all go figure it out. Why them people ain't give y'all no instructions? They ain't had nobody come over there. They ain't teach y'all how to keep score. They just let y'all go. They ain't know what they was doing. They was just trying to hit the ball back and forth. Then they gonna tell Latoya to be in charge. And Latoya, to be the referee. And Latoya just making up points as she go. She said, if you get it over the net, that's 2.5 points. Where they do that at? Where somebody get 2.5 points from? Girl. Chloe showed up talking about she played tennis in high school and she the expert and she can't hit the ball. Child, it was a mess. It was a fun mess. I told y'all how I feel about these shows. I love when I see these women just having a good time. The women were just having a good time and I loved it. I loved seeing them be silly, even with Latoya and the fake score. I mean, I loved it. It was fun. It was a fun time. Mimi shows up and the ladies sit down because, again, by the time Mimi got there, child, they was done. They was tired. They was tired of pretending like they was actually playing something, okay? We sit down and Ashley addresses Latoya about this damn lemon drop. Then we get a little bit more information. We found out that this was a rap party, supposedly for all the ladies on the show, but Ro wasn't invited. And I don't like the way we glossed over the fact that Ro wasn't invited. I think that, to me, is more important. Ro not being invited to the rap party for the show, to me, is more of an issue than the $22 lemon drop. That is a part. That, for me, was... Can y'all see me? Am I back? I don't know what just happened. My screen just went out. So I hope y'all can still see me. Rose said her face was on the flyer. How you got her face on the flyer and she didn't even get invited to the event? And now my question is, was that done intentionally? Like, how did she not get invited? I think that should have been the conversation. Am I still frozen? Uh-oh. Okay, I'm back. I don't understand that. I don't understand how in the world we're talking about a $22 freaking lemon drop when one of the women who's the star of the show, face on the marquee, isn't invited and her name is on the advertisement. See, that's what doesn't make sense to me. And the other thing is the fact that there was a flyer being circulated made me feel like this was a paid event. It made me feel like people could buy tickets to get into the club that night or get into this little bar situation. It made me feel like you were selling tickets for people to get in, which means that you made $22. The tickets were probably $30. Like I said, what I said at the beginning is what I'm saying now. Nobody whose name is on that flyer should have had to pay for nothing that night. They should have been able to get appetizers. They should have been able to get drinks. And I'm not saying run up a $300-$400 tab, but I think if all Latoya owed at the end of the night was $22, and I'm with Latoya, I probably would have felt like the shit was gonna be comp too. Like I probably would have said something too. I probably would have been like, "Oh damn, I thought this was. I didn't. Are we paying? Oh." Baby, that's an event. I would have left my wallet at home. I would have had to use my Apple Pay because I would have been like, "Oh, I didn't bring nothing." I mean, I thought this was a party for me. This is like, let me tell you something. This happened to me. This happened to me Saturday, y'all. Saturday, y'all know I've started doing travel now. So I went to a business meeting on Saturday. So the travel business I'm in, which y'all gonna hear more about because y'all gonna get sick of hearing about it. But anyway, the travel business that I'm in, I'm also building a team of people to work under me to also do travel as well, right? So I went to a business meeting on Saturday, and the person that's like way, way, way over top of my head, like she making probably $200,000-$300,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? She invited people out to come eat after the meeting. Well, she invited us. I thought she was paying because, like I said, she make like $300,000 a year. So I thought she was treating. I'm just going to tell y'all the truth. Now, my mama ain't raised no fools. My mama always made sure God bless the child that's got his own. So I didn't order crazy off the menu. Like I didn't order what I couldn't afford. I didn't do none of that. But the waitress started coming around handing people checks. I was like, oh, we paying. I didn't know that. Now, to be fair, like I said, I had my money. I wasn't worried. I had my money. But I was under the impression you invited us to dinner. I was under the impression, to lunch. I was under the impression she was paying for everybody's food. Now, she paid for, there was a guest speaker that came. She paid for that person's food. And somebody did end up paying for my food. Let's be clear. Somebody paid for my food. It just wasn't her. Because I thought she was paying for everybody. Because the way the invitation went, I thought because she was like, I'm going to make a reservation for 15, the first 15 people that come. So I'm thinking she was paying for the 15 people that was coming. But that's neither here nor there. It is reasonable to expect that if there's a rap party for all of the people, that the people that are on the show would have gotten a free meal, drink, appetizer, something. Ashley also said Ro was a stranger, but Ro was nice to her at Labrina's party and was nice to her at pickleball. She's a hater. Child. So she brings out this like lemon drop kit. She got little mini Tito's and lemonade and little lemons. Girl, you doing a lot. You doing a lot. You went a long way down this road. You walked a long way down this road. You bought props and everything over a $22 lemon drop. Like you bought props and all of that. And Ro's point was valid. Ro was like, listen, we just got back good. Like the group just got back in a good space. What we don't need is this. We don't need these distractions. We don't need this drama. We don't need this bull hockey. Like that's what we don't need. We just got back here as a group. We don't need this. And then Chloe in her confessional gonna make it seem like Ro was wrong for feeling some kind of way. Well, we know Ro don't really like new people, and we know how Ro is. We know how Ro is. Well, the new person that you brought around the group last year was on some bullshit, and she too was coming for Latoya. What is up with y'all bringing people to come after Latoya? What is that about? Like, why everybody coming for Latoya? I have my feelings, but we'll come back around to it. Y'all remind me to tell y'all what my feelings are about why the people keep coming for Latoya. Chuck, you gonna remind me. Quake, y'all remind me why, because I want to finish this thought, but I'm gonna tell y'all in a minute why. Just put Latoya in the chat. I'm gonna finish up this scene, and then I'm gonna talk about Chloe, and then just start putting Latoya in the chat so I can tell y'all, okay? And Latoya paid for the drink. Now, did Latoya say something? She probably did, because like I said, I would have said something too. I would have said something too. If I'm being honest, I would have been like, oh, damn, I got to pay. I would have said something too. Just like on Saturday, I ain't say nothing on Saturday in the moment, but I said something. Because I was like, oh, I didn't know. I thought she was picking up the chat. Now, like I said, somebody did pick up my chat. Not right now, Auntie Eva. I said put Latoya in the chat when Auntie Eva, give me a minute. Not right now. I actually didn't even have to bring up the lemon drop. Even Latoya was like, I could pay for the drink, but I can't believe a little birdie will bring it up, that you'll bring it back. Now let's get to this little birdie situation. So Ashley kept saying a little birdie, a little birdie, a little birdie. And again, I'm like, Ro, put a name on it. Who was the little birdie? Who said it? Who brought it up? Who was the little birdie? Hello? Who? Who was the little birdie? Who was the little birdie? Because that's where I'm with it. That's where I'm with it. I want to know who the little birdie is. So come to find out, Labrina is the little birdie. Labrina, because Labrina and Ashley are friends in real life. Labrina went back and told Ashley Latoya had an issue paying because she had to pay for her drink. And here's the thing I did not like. Now, this is about to be, some of y'all about to be like, really, B, I can't believe you said that. Okay, well, I'm about to go there. I gotta go there because I gotta go there. What I hate, and y'all can tell me in the chat, we cool. Right, Rose said, y'all heard me. Y'all heard me ask who the fuck the little birdie was. Now, I know y'all gonna, Chuck, I know you're gonna keep me honest. It seemed to me, when that conversation didn't go the way I think Ashley thought that conversation was going to go, then she went for the sympathy card. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if y'all disagree. Tell me if y'all think I'm doing too much. Be like, really, be you going too far? Y'all can be honest and say that. Y'all can be like, ooh, you doing too much. Ooh, you going too far. Y'all can be honest and tell me that. Y'all can be honest and tell me that. But I honestly, this is how I felt. I felt like you really thought that conversation was going to go a different way. And when the conversation ain't go the way you thought it was going to go, then it was, well, I'm going to tell you why it really bothered me. Because we had lost our grandmother. And my whole family works there, and we were barely getting through the night. And we were trying to make it work for y'all, and we could barely get through the night. What they got to do with you charging that woman for a $22 lemon drop and you ain't invite Ro? What that got to do with the price of tea in China? And let's be clear, I don't mean no disrespect to you losing your grandmother. I've lost both of mine, and it ain't, and I feel you on that. But baby, that has nothing to do with this. That has nothing to do with this. 1 + 1 don't equal 2 in this equation. That has nothing to do with what you did. Nothing. Because that has absolutely nothing. What you did and how that whole situation went down has absolutely nothing to do with you charging this woman for a lemon drop. Because let's be clear, you were going to charge her either way. Whether your grandmother had passed the day before or not, you were always planning to charge her. So one has, it ain't like you said, I wasn't thinking clearly. You're right. I was supposed to comp y'all and I just was tripping. And here's what I can't stand. Labrina, why would you run back and tell that? Because it wasn't even that deep. Even if Latoya made a big deal about it, even if Latoya was like, oh my gosh, that's so tacky. I can't believe she made me pay for a drink. I can't, even if she made a big deal about it, why was it wasn't that serious to go back and tell her? Because here's what I refuse to believe, Labrina. I refuse to believe that if Ashley weren't your friend, you wouldn't have felt the same way. If Ashley were not your friend, I wonder if you would have felt the same way. Also, I would have told the little birdie, don't tell me about that mess. I just lost my grandmother. Well, that too, Cheryl. That too. You're not wrong, really. Be actually tried to pivot real quick. Yeah, it seemed like the minute Latoya started clocking her, when Latoya was like, well, first of all, I didn't have a problem paying for my drink. I just did feel like it. I did feel like the drinks were going to be comp because it was our party. Like I didn't expect to pay, but I didn't have a problem paying for the drink. And yes, I did make mention about it, but it wasn't a big deal. See, what you expected, you probably expected that Latoya was going to deny she said it. You was probably expecting, you clearly were expecting a different response from Latoya than what you got. Clearly, we're expecting a different response than what you got. So when Latoya didn't give you that, when Latoya didn't give you the energy you was trying to get or the reaction you were trying to get, then you pivoted and then you went for the sympathy thing. I ain't like that. What's up, JB? Hey, boo. I ain't like that. I ain't like it. Latoya is a class act. Girl, don't throw a party using my image and I gotta pay for shit. JB, stand for the people in the back. Absolutely. First of all, don't throw a party using my image and I don't get an invitation. And the other thing I had a problem with was there was no apology to Ro. Like you didn't even say, girl, it was a I think they did like say like they as like an afterthought that it was a misunderstanding, but they said it more like an afterthought. Like there was no real acknowledgement and apology there. And I'm gonna be honest, me being the sensitive ass Cancer that I am, my feelings would have been hurt. Now, Ro, I don't know, she got a hard shell, but I'm sure there was a part of her that was like, how the fuck? Y'all gonna have a party and you don't invite me. Like, what kind of shit is that? But I'm gonna be honest, that would have hurt my damn feelings. I bet Labrina didn't pay for her tab. Oh, clock it. Probably didn't. I wonder if everybody else got a bill. Labrina, how much did you pay? Chloe, how much did you pay? Elena, how much did you pay? Mimi, how much did you pay? What was everybody else's bill that night? I wonder. I want to know what everybody else's bill was that night. And again, I felt like that was real shady as hell for Labrina to run back and say something. It was unnecessary to say. Like it just wasn't. First of all, that's not even something I would even thought about saying. Like I don't know if I would even remember. Yeah, well, Elena ain't gonna tell us nothing, child. I think we seen the last of her. I don't think we're gonna see her no more, child. Cause she ain't show up to nothing. She didn't even bring her kids to the birthday party, to Labrina baby birthday party. Labrina is nasty, and I was trying to give her a little reprieve after the whole therapy session, and she apologized, even though she never apologized for what she said. She apologized that she told me something. I didn't give you grace. I don't even understand what the fuck that mean, but I was willing to just move on because I was tired of talking about it. I don't even understand what that mean. I ain't give you grace, and I apologize for not giving you grace, but I was gonna let that go. But Labrina, this is some nasty piece of work. So then we have Mimi, Ro, and Labrina going out to lunch or going out to eat, whatever, having drinks or whatever. And then we have Chloe, Ashley, and Labrina going out. And they're basically talking about the whole lemon drop situation. And Ro was like, listen, we just got past this bullshit. Like, I don't like, what was her purpose? Why would she bring it up? What is the big deal? What is the issue? We just got past this. We just got in a good place again. And we don't need no outsider coming in stirring up more shit, especially not over no fucking $22 lemon damn drop. Lemon drops ain't even that good. I mean, if you like lemons, I guess they are. But I don't like lemons. Don't buy me no lemon drop. Y'all know what to buy me. If y'all ever see me at the bar and y'all want to buy me a drink, y'all already know what to get really beat. Okay? First of all, y'all know I don't even do no white liquor like that. So that's another reason why I don't like no lemon drop. And I don't really like lemons. So lemon drop is not a drink for me. And how many lemon drops did you have, Latoya? Because I know that woman ain't charging $22 for one lemon drop. That better be a whole picture of lemons. Oh, V. Spence said these Houston black-owned bars and restaurants price points are fucking stupid. Well, just Jack Daniels. You could just give me a Jack Daniels neat, baby. You see me out, just give me a Jack Daniels neat. If you feel like you got to put a chaser in it, just give me some Jack and Coke. Just give me some Jack and Coke. But for real, just a Jack Daniels neat. And you can really make it a double. Or a smoky old fashioned, not a Manhattan chucker, old fashioned. Now, I'll do a good old fashioned. I'll do a good old fashioned. Y'all know I like me. Ooh, speaking of old fashioned, Cheryl, you still in here? I can definitely see it being a setup to give Ashley a storyline. Latoya handled it well. She handled it really well. And that's another reason why they ain't had nowhere to go. They couldn't go left. They couldn't go right. They ain't had nowhere to go because of the way Latoya handled it. But y'all remind me, I'm about to talk about this situation with Chloe, and then I'm gonna really give y'all my opinion on why they keep coming for Latoya. But let's talk about this situation with Chloe. Because I told you I ain't about to sit here and spend 3 episodes talking about no fucking $22 lemon drop. What I want to talk more about is why wasn't Ro invited to the party? That's what I want to know. Why wasn't Ro invited to the fucking party? Can we talk about that? You still in here? Cheryl, when we going? When we going, Cheryl? It's my birthday week. It's my birthday. Hey, it's my birthday. So Cheryl, we got to go back and get us an old fashioned this week. Get us that was it the butter? What was it? Shit, I can't even remember now. The brown butter. What I say? The brown butter, girl. You know what I'm talking about. Old fashioned. Let me know when we going, Cheryl. Let's slide down into the group chat and figure it out, honey. Let's slide down into the group chat and figure it out. Okay. Tell me when you want to go. Okay. Now I'm the busy one. I'll let you know. Because Treese texted me yesterday and she wants to go out to eat for my birthday. So maybe we could just do that. Celebrated 51 years of life on today. Yes, Cancer season. Y'all drop some happy birthdays in the chat for Miss Lisa Matt. Y'all better do it. Y'all better do it. Yes, Chuck. It's a brown butter old fashioned down to the roots, Chris. It was so fucking good. Do you hear me? And I think if I go, I think I might have to Uber. Because I only got one this last time. But I might have to Uber so I can get me 2. Because it was good. And it was so smooth. I don't know. I might have to Uber over. But anyway. Chloe in this scene with her 2 daughters talking about Jordan. Once again, y'all know how I feel. about these children. Your birthday is July 2nd. My birthday is July 2nd. Yes, Kim Kelly. Hey, you'll be 58. I'll be 52. 52. Yes, girl. Yeah. Hey, it's my birthday. Hey, it's my. Yes, what's up, birthday twin? Where have you been? Nobody knows me like you do. Nobody. Yes, birthday twin. Y'all know how I feel about these churn and these adult conversations. Before I say what I have to say, I'm not saying that Chloe is not allowed to have a life. I'm not saying that Chloe is not allowed to move on. I'm not even saying that Chloe is not allowed to have a boyfriend. But what I am going to say is, I don't know how I feel about Chloe's kids knowing she's got a man sleeping in her bed. When her daughter said, sometimes I want to sleep in the bed with you, and you have the door locked or closed, she said close. She said, well, he's not even over here that much. But of course, when he's over here, we're going to close the door. That's what adults do. They close the door. And then, did y'all peep this? I know y'all heard this. I know y'all heard this. I know y'all heard this. She said, well, we close the door when we're at his house. Did y'all peep that? Please tell me somebody else heard that but me. Please tell me y'all heard when she said, well, we close the door when we're at his house, which tells me that you got them girls over that man house spending the night in that man house. The same man that got women, random women that you don't know that got the code to get in and out their door. I have a problem with her having kids that young, having a man spend the night. If you know your children still come in your room in the middle of the night and want to climb in the bed with you, you're not ready to have overnight guests in your house. That's my opinion. Sorry. I know everybody ain't going to agree with that, and that's fine. That's great. You ain't got to agree with me. But if those girls are still getting up in the middle of the night and climbing in your bed, you ain't ready to have a man in that bed. You got to break them out of that habit before you decide you're going to have a man coming up in your bed. And what I didn't like was that she tried to excuse their feelings as, you just miss your dad. You just miss your dad. You just miss your dad. And that little baby kept telling her, no, this ain't got nothing to do with my daddy. I don't like Jordan. That little girl was very articulate in her feelings. She was very clear. Okay? She was not hemming and hawing. She wasn't stuttering. She was very clear in how she felt. She said, this don't have nothing to do with my daddy. I don't like Jordan. And I don't want you to marry him. You want to marry him, but I don't. I don't like that he in your bed. I don't like that you spending all your time with him and you ain't spending time with us. Baby, she was very clear. That little girl was I'm sorry, I'm going to call her a young lady. That young lady was very articulate in how she felt. And I didn't like the fact that Chloe kept dismissing her feelings as, you just miss your daddy. I didn't like that. Because she told you, this ain't about my daddy. This about him. And this makes me really think about some things. Chloe, if none of your kids like this man, it may not be, listen, it may not be about his age. It may not be about their grief. If all three of your children ain't feeling this relationship, that's where this relationship needs to end. I'm sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. That is where this relationship needs to end. Your kids have been clear, the oldest to the youngest. They said it's 3 years between Jordan and your son. And the youngest ones who you told us, didn't she just tell us last week how much her daughters love? Oh, they love Jordan and they get along and they love Jordan. They love Jordan. No, they don't. No, they don't. They don't love Jordan. And they were very clear in telling you they don't love Jordan. That baby was crying. Now, let me explain something. Let's assume for a minute and get ready. Get ready. Latoria. You can put it in the chat now. Give me about 2 more minutes. If I don't bring up Latoria, y'all put it in chat because I want to tell y'all my opinion about this Latoria situation. Let's assume for a minute you're right, Chloe. Let's walk down that road. Let's walk down that road that you're correct. The road that you are correct. Let's walk down. Let's walk down the road that you are correct. That those kids are still grieving their father. Then that's all the more reason why you need to put a pause on this situation. Put those babies in therapy. If they were in therapy and you stop, put them back in therapy. If they've never been in therapy, they need to go to therapy. If you think that they're still grieving their father, then you need to focus on that. Put them back in therapy. Put them in therapy. If that's what you really believe, then that's what you need to do. That's my opinion. Because either your kids are being very clear and articulate and telling you they don't like this relationship, they don't like this person, they don't want him around. And if you're going to dismiss their feelings as, oh, you're still grieving your father, you just miss your daddy, then they need to be in therapy because it's been 5 years. And I'm not saying that they're going to get over their daddy because that's a pain you probably never going to get over. Let's be clear. But if you feel like they're still in grief on that level, that's why they don't like Jordan, then you need to go get them therapy. But the fact that all 3 of your kids don't like Jordan, and once again, and I'm going all the way back to the beginning, I forgot to say this part. Once again, you were talking to Latoria about what happened when your son came over to the house and Jordan and your son, hey, what's up? Why did you text Jordan's mama talking about, I got some tea for you, call me? Chloe, you ain't learned nothing. That man told you, you don't need to tell my mama everything about our relationship. And even though some people might say, well, that wasn't really a big deal, really, B. Actually, that was something good, really, B. It does not matter. That man said, stop telling my mama everything that happens in our relationship. There was no need. You were sitting there talking to your girlfriend. There's no need for you to call your mama. Because Jordan, mom, and her are the same age. Chloe, you better listen to these babies. From the oldest baby to the youngest baby. They're telling you how they feel. They're being very clear and articulate in how they feel. They're not their children, but they clearly, if you feel like they're old enough for you to have a man sleeping over in your house, then they old enough for you to give you an opinion about it. I'm going to say that again one more time for the people in the back. If you feel like they are old enough to understand you having a man sleeping in your bed, then they're old enough to have an opinion about it. And let me explain to y'all this Latoria situation. Let me explain to y'all why these people keep coming for Latoya. Because they think Latoya is low-hanging fruit. They keep coming for Latoya because they think Latoya is low-hanging fruit. Let me explain something to y'all. And this is coming from a woman, and this is no disrespect to Latoya. I fucks with Latoya. But I'm telling y'all what I see from my perspective, okay? Okay? They see Latoya as low-hanging fruit. Because let me explain to y'all why. Women like Labrina, women like Ashley, even women like Chloe, but I'm gonna put Chloe over to the side for a minute because we haven't really seen that part of Chloe yet. I think it's there, but we ain't really seen it yet. People like Labrina, Ashley, and I'm gonna even throw Mimi in this. They are the pretty girls. They are the established norm of what is considered to be beauty in our society, right? They are, I'm not saying that they're light skinned because they're not light skinned, but they have that. They're skinny girls, right? They have that. They have that accepted brand of beauty, right? They're also very brash. They're also very opinionated, and they think that being brash and opinionated gives you a certain level of authority or power, right? Latoya is not that. She doesn't walk in a room and she's not brash. Now, Latoya get you together. She's very polite in how she do it, but she gonna get you together, right? But she doesn't walk in a room, boom, 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 right? She's also a big girl. She's a thick girl. And there's a certain level of disrespect that is ingrained in people when they see someone who is bigger. There's a certain level of, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but people automatically have a certain perception of you when you're a big girl, right? They automatically assume you have low self-esteem. They automatically assume you don't love yourself. They automatically assume you desperate for friends. They automatically assume that you don't feel comfortable in society, right? And so they see Latoya as low-hanging fruit because of all of those things. They come for her because of all of those things. And they don't fuck with Ro, even though Ro was a thick girl, right? They don't fuck with Ro because Ro is very boom, very in your face, very brash. They don't get that from Latoya. So Latoya is low-hanging fruit, which is why they're going to come after Latoya about a $22 fucking lemon drop instead of addressing why Ro wasn't invited to the party. Because I think there's a reason why Ro wasn't invited to that party. And I think all roads lead back to Labrina. They disregard the big girl. Absolutely. And this is coming from a big girl. I'm telling you, from my perspective as a big girl. Been a big girl my whole life. Okay. I ain't been as big as I am now, but I've always been the thick girl. Okay. So even going back to the Labrina situation, Labrina kept harping on what Latoya said about the whole Precious thing, but everybody had an issue. Like y'all notice, even with the editing, why didn't we circle back around to Chloe? When we saw that clip where Chloe was joining in on the Precious joke, why didn't we circle back around to Chloe? Why are we still focused on Latoya having an issue with you making the Precious joke? Why didn't we circle back around to the fact that Chloe was in on it? Why didn't we circle back around to you throwing Chloe under the bus? Remember when Chloe gave her a little fever, gave her a little pushback, we ain't never hear no more about it. Now, they might have edited that out. They might have edited that part out. I don't know. But that's not what they showed us as the viewing public. That ain't what they showed us. So I feel like, in my opinion, I feel like they go for Latoya because she's low-hanging fruit. Just like last season. I'm sorry, y'all. Just like last season when they brought the who was her name? Shantae on there, and she went straight for Latoya. Nobody else. Nobody else. Straight beeline for Latoya. Low-hanging fruit. Low-hanging fruit. And Latoya is successful as fuck. Absolutely. She's well connected in Houston. She is successful. She's clearly good at her job. She's booked and busy. She stay working. And I'm not taking anything away from the rest of those women. I'm not diminishing what the rest of those women do, but it that's what I see. Now that's my opinion. Ain't nobody got to agree with it, but that's my opinion. And I think that's why they go for Latoya. I absolutely believe that's why Labrina and Ashley went for Latoya. Because again, can we talk about why Ro wasn't invited to this party? Because I don't think that was an accident. I think that was intentional. And can we talk about it? Why wasn't Ro invited to the fucking party with her name on the flyer? Do you think they feel she is low hanging fruit because they have more money? Maybe. I don't know how much money these women have, so I don't know that to be true. I mean, I haven't looked up their net worth, so I don't know who has more money. Latoya is very successful, and I think they are threatened by her, so they are going to come for her every chance they get. Many years and pounds ago, this nasty little twink tried this with me, so I turned out his husband to. Chuck. Do you think that's in certain states because up north we be ready to spaz out and handle business? What you mean? Do I think what's in certain states? They think she is. Before the show, I have been knowing about Latoya since 2013, 2014 because of her business and Chloe, then Elena. Never heard of the others. That's why I said I'm not going to say who has more money. I don't know who has more money. Why do you think she wasn't invited? I think Ashley don't like Ro. I mean, I think she doesn't like Ro now. Why she don't like Ro, I don't know. But I think she doesn't like Ro. I think there's something there that we may or may not know about. I think she doesn't like Ro. That smirk that Labrina had. Right. Well, Labrina was like, I'm the birdie. I'm the little birdie. But here's the thing, Labrina. Here's where I don't have no respect for you. Because why you didn't say that when they asked, when Ro asked the question at the table, why you ain't say it with your chest then? Why you ain't say, well, I said it. I told Ashley because Ashley is my girl, and I felt like that was disrespectful. Why you ain't say nothing? Why we sitting here still trying to figure out, like, say it with your chest? Newbie me said, really B, you are gorgeous. I've been wanting to tell you that, period. I want to say that a while ago. Thanks for reminding me. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I don't want to use the Potomac C word, but how could this be colorism? Hey, good boy. That's my boo. I mean, I don't know where you would get colorism from in this scenario, but that's your opinion. These women are all colors. I don't know I don't know where the colorism would come in. Ro will tell her where to go and not feel a thing about it, how it makes her feel, and will. Ashley and Labrina giving Jennifer and Evelyn vibes, mean and evil. I really liked Labrina last season. I did too. I did too. I don't know. Right. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't know where the colorism would come into this scenario, but I mean, hey. But I don't agree with the colorism with as it relates to Potomac too. So, and I'm not going down that road. Anyway, I didn't mean to say that. Never mind. Erase what I just said. Moving right along. All right, y'all. Let me get out of here. Anyway, that was it. That was Heart and Hustle Houston. Dang, that was an hour and 20 minutes. I didn't know I had that much to say about this episode. With that being said, y'all, I'll be back at 9:15-ish. I was gonna try to slide something in between now and 8 o'clock, but I think I'm gonna just chill. We need to move from the traditional standard of beauty into a viewing beauty we all enjoy. True. True. Yeah. So I'll see y'all at 9:15-ish for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And then yeah. And then that's it. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace. Are you going to the Usher Chris show? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely. I have no interest. Absolutely not. I'm not a Chris Brown fan, so I would never pay money to go see Chris Brown. I do like Usher, but I would never pay money to go see Chris Brown. Two words, Alec Wick. What's that? I don't know what those two words are, Chuck. Anyway, all right, y'all. Let me get out of here. Peace. Mwah.